Welcome to Track Talk Sports. I'm your host, Willie Jones. Today's segment, Kicking It Back. That's what we're doing today. We're going to kick it back, and I have a special guest for you today, Henry Paul from New York, New York. How you doing, Henry?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
That's good to hear.
Glad to
That's
be here.
Oh yes, I'm glad to be here also. I'm glad to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I was trying to think about, we kicking it back today.
Hmm.
Just trying to figure out what our conversation would be like.
Right.
And I mean, it's all things good. That's the
Absolutely.
conversation. All things good. And what would you like to share um, with us today? I know
Uh,
we.
well, what I would like to share is just my thoughts on what's happening right now in my life, in your life, and what I have and you have,
Mhm,
and how it fit the family, friends, and the greater community.
mhm,
Uh, Came home because I was incarcerated for a period of time from 1994 to 2012
uh-huh.
straight. Uh, Prior to going, my thinking at that time was incorrect. I
Uh-huh.
was caught up in the streets and material chasing.
Mhm.
Uh,
And
so in that,
that happens to most young people.
yeah, the environment in itself, I can say that my early development stages in rearing was great because I lived amongst my family members, you
Uh-huh.
and all my other uncles and aunts and
Mhm.
brothers, cousins. So I got a good upbringing. I had as far as to what was expected of a human
Uh-huh.
that a well-grounded human being. I did have examples of it because of my family, because of my grandmother, my uncles, you, aunts, and
Mhm.
but at the same time, I also had that other part that was an example that was negative.
Mhm.
No disrespect to my father, because I love him, but my
Mhm.
father at that time, when I was a kid, was in the streets as well.
Uh-huh.
So I had those two dual pullings: the one that my family was presenting, my mother's family, and the one that my father was presenting in his
There's
home.
always choices to make. There's
Yeah,
always choices.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so I made some bad choices then,
Mhm.
you know. But upon being released, I
Uh-huh.
reconnected back with family, you, and we had a conversation.
Mhm.
And that conversation inspired me to chase my dreams and goals,
Mhm.
but not to do it selfishly, but in the process of doing that.
Right.
I thank you for that because you told me then, although they may not be there supporting you immediately,
Mhm.
and we'll bring them in.
Right. Mhm.
So thanks for that.
Mhm.
So you have been my idol from young.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, and really all my family has, because
Uh-huh.
like I feel with my family, and that's true. And there was a time where I was confused about that,
Mhm.
But today I can look and say, man, I love my family, man, because
Awesome.
they had so many. It was so diverse characters and
Uh-huh.
and and personalities, and yours was
Mhm.
like you were the talk of the
Definitely.
neighborhood,
Right.
and and then when I understood why you was such a central figure, integral figure to me.
Uh-huh.
So it's like even this platform here. This
Mm-hmm.
was an idea of yours that you
Mm-hmm.
shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
That you asked for my participation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I participated. Yeah, because now I can reap some of the benefits of came from you, and we can share in
Mhm.
this growth and this nurturing, and this is brilliant, man.
Absolutely.
This is love. Talk Sports. That logo,
Mhm.
tenacious, reliable, alert, and the X factor.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
It's
It's us.
it's
It's
right.
us.
It's us. So
Mhm.
so this is what I like to talk about, like the fact that my family, you are one of the integral figures in my family that I've been inspired by. That I would,
Mhm.
uh, at the end of the day, you be proud of me.
Mhm.
And thanks for having me. Thanks for the platform. Thanks for inviting me to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And that's it, man. I'm like, I'm in a sense like just flowing with with joy, man.
Well, I,
It's
I
amazing.
am proud. I am proud of you, and what you have accomplished since incarceration. I mean, you started two companies behind you. You got H&R, one company, construction, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have your trucking company, Black Pearl Group, and that's something really to be proud of. And today, we just, as we say, just kicking it,
Right.
and
Right.
you went back on, on, my adolescent years, talking, about how I inspired you know, sports and things like that, just being
Mm-hmm.
out there playing sports. And, I mean, it was, it was a gift that, I had,
Right.
the Lord blessed me with, which was, I mean, where we live,
Right.
Bradford Avenue, Harlem. I mean, you in Harlem, and
Right.
most people know about Harlem. They get it as a place where, hey, it's a tough place to live,
Right.
right? And with both of us being raised there, on Bradhurst Avenue, we had a park. Now I mentioned it before.
Right.
We had a park that was about a quarter of a mile long. So I mean, far as activities, we had Eighth Avenue right around the corner.
Right.
So we had choices.
Right.
We had choices. We had the park, we had swimming pool, we had basketball courts, we had handball courts.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we had, what a lot of people didn't have. Or we can wake up in the morning, run right across the street to our park.
Right. That's right.
you know, it's not a lot of people that can do that.
Mm.
We had a dome where a lot of performances were. So
Right.
our mindset was pretty much, to the point where, you can go out there and just be creative.
Right. Right.
You can go out there and be exposed to different, things. We had, bongos, people playing bongos on the, across the street on the park. We woke up sometime to the bongos.
That's right.
I mean, it was just exciting. We had the polo grounds, right down on 155th Street,
Right.
along with the Rucker Park,
Right.
and right across the bridge, the Yankee Stadium, with
Right.
baseball. So it was, I mean, we were engulfed in either trying to, become a baseball player or a football player, or, you had choices.
Right.
Basketball,
Right.
and that's where I spent most of my time. You know, I had the opportunity to, go play, in the Ruckers, but even before then, I went to PS 90,
Yeah.
elementary school, I was playing ball.
Yeah.
I was going to school, but I was playing ball all the time. Then
Right.
I went up at Frederick Douglass, junior high school,
Right.
playing basketball.
Right.
That's what I love doing. From there, I went to Brandeis, you know, and Brandeis again, playing ball, um, and that was just what I did. It's in the basketball, you the work, to try to be good,
Right.
you know, is you have to put a whole lot of work in. We used to run around our parks and everything, just trying, swimming
Right.
every day. Our bodies were just geared up for, some sort of sport, so
Right.
we were always busy, trying to beat the streets, because we had the drugs and, we had all of that in
Right.
front of us.
Right.
I mean, if you can think it, we had it. When it comes down to drugs and hustling and all of that,
Right.
we're trying to escape, all of that. But it found a lot of us, you know. But
Right.
that's what we overcame, because sports, and that's what you say, track talk sports.
Yeah.
Sports, was an escape for me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and um, I my dream was to play professionally. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I moved away, moved to North Carolina. Played high school basketball. Um, the whole thing with coming to the South, you just didn't get the exposure. You know,
Right.
So basically, um, I played a lot of city league basketball. Kept basketball was still a part of my life. Never dropped it. But I always wanted to play in the Rutgers, and I did get that opportunity. you
Oh,
know,
absolutely. That's one of
I
my
did,
brag. That's one of my brag about my
yeah,
uncle.
I did, I did. I mean, things just happened. You
Right.
know, just everything just kind of fell in line, just like they're falling in line now. You know,
Right.
and that's what has always motivated me is helping somebody else. Because the older guys in New York, that's what they did. They helped give us some direction, help pointed us in the right direction, so we can help point you in the right direction.
Right.
So it was always that help and family, just like you said. So we had a lot of support.
Yeah.
Always had a lot of support, and that's what we do in return. We just give it back, just give
Right.
back. And Track Talk Sports, everybody has a story. You know, um, that's why we say it's all things good.
Right.
It's not just about sports, but more.
Right. Right.
And that's what
Yeah.
I'm having opportunity for, like yourself, to come on and share your story, and we have a platform, so that you can do that,
Right.
so
Hey, this
you know,
this is this is phenomenal.
yeah.
Like, and it's a blessing at the same time because who any most other shows
Hmm.
that are out, uh, their focus is based on what is common in the media industry,
Hmm.
and what I'm trying to propose with this here is something that isn't done at the moment, hasn't been done, but needs to be done.
Hmm.
And so because of that, like, it's a no-brainer for me to want to participate
Mm-hmm.
support
Mm-hmm.
in all ways that I can,
Mm-hmm.
because this is something that, as an endeavor, can go down like in posterity for us
Mm-hmm.
as a family, for you, for me,
Mm-hmm.
and like again, man, I'm grateful for this opportunity for the,
Mm-hmm.
every time I look at you, you created something new. You doing something
Mm-hmm.
new, and it just inspires striving and do things myself. To
Mm-hmm.
keep trying to find new ways to
Uh-huh.
to achieve a level of it's not all about the finances, but to achieve a
Right.
level of financial freedom
Mm-hmm.
for us, you
Uh-huh.
know. And another thing again about family is that this comes from my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I believe also my grandfather from your testament, because I didn't know him. He
Right.
was not alive when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said again, I had examples. I had my uncles and I had my aunts, and
Mm-hmm.
and I had the neighborhood, like you said, bro. That was like man, that was like a safe haven around a
Yeah. Yeah.
surrounded by a jungle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a kid, I could get up and run in that park, and that was where I was all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I could
Mm-hmm.
play baseball, stickball, I could play football, I could play handball, I could run up in the mountains.
Yeah. We had all of that. We
I
had
could
all
watch
of
you
it.
guys play ball.
Yeah.
I could watch the women play baseball, softball,
Yeah.
go to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just like every day when I wake up, I think about what can I do to improve my standing in life.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do today to do that,
Right.
to advance my standing and those that I love standing? What can I do?
Right.
Positive, good, because having that as a foundational declaration, all things good,
Mm-hmm.
things good.
Mm-hmm.
Not just anything, not just because
Right.
I want something. It has to have good in
Right.
it. And like we do all the time. Like when we talk, I think these ways. I think these thoughts because of the conversation I have and what is generated from.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And again, man, it's like you're my uncle in years. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but it's like
We were brought together. Yeah. This brings people together. That's what I like about Track Talk Sports.
mm-hmm,
It brings people together. You know, I mean, even to see someone that, you know, people haven't seen in years, just come have an opportunity to get on, our podcast
right,
and talk about sports, because I mean, like you were saying earlier, you the sports that you read about or see on some of these stations, you know, it is it's like it don't resemble sports sometimes.
right,
Lots of times, because of back and forward,
right,
and I look at it where we're the fans, we're the ones who go to those games and support those games with our dollars,
right,
and only reason we support because a lot of times, we're athletes. We played ourselves. We live our dreams probably through another player, you know, on a team, particular team, or that city. We
right,
support the city, and but no, no one knows that, we played and could have been there ourselves, could have been on that stage, but it's us. It's just we had different paths,
Right.
to travel in life.
Right.
We still love that sport, and we pay our dollars to play that sport. So Track Talk Sports give, athletes that opportunity to say, hey, I can talk about the conditioning and all that it takes to be a great athlete, you
Right.
know, and because I mean, I consider myself great.
Right. Right.
And I think any athlete that played sports themselves great. They may not be on TV, but in their
Right.
and the things that through the training and that they've had, to get where they to go as far as they did.
Right.
Training that they had, it carries on through life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's why you can go and you can support the sport because it's like seeing yourself up there,
Right. Right.
seeing yourself out there running. Because when they making their moves, you making your move. You in your seat, you getting up, you clapping your hands, and
Right.
because you feel it. It's that
Right.
energy, and that's what propels us in life. It's that energy.
Right.
So that's what Track Talk Sports gives a person to get that energy, bring it to Track Talk Sports, and let people know. You
Share
know,
it. Right.
I played high school ball, I played middle school ball, I played college ball, you know, because everybody's somebody.
Right.
So it's a platform so people can see who you are,
Right. Right. Right.
So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited, to the point where um, we have a platform where people can, come share their
Mm-hmm.
sports experience, you know,
Right.
and more,
Right.
you
Your,
know.
my story, my sports story is just as important as, say, LeBron's story. I may not
Absolutely.
have that many people who may be interested, but there'll be some.
Right.
But
Right.
it's still
Oh yeah.
important
Oh yeah.
because it's
It's
important to me.
important. It's important, and just like you said, um, their story to me and to most people, this gives a platform to let you see their stories are just as important as LeBron or any
Right.
NBA player story or any national baseball league
Right.
player story. That's
Right.
why we support them because we have a story and we live it through others.
Right.
But now we got a platform where you can come and you can sit and you can share yours.
Right. A
Now,
platform, a platform without the belittling, the disrespect of
mhm,
others,
mhm,
which is the most integral part of the platform, of what has been provided, what Trax is providing. And to be a part of that, the Trax Talk Sports program and platform
mhm,
at this stage is a godsend because I believe it's going to affect so that it's going to touch so many lives in a positive way that it has thus far.
mhm,
And I'm trying to speak that because it's
mhm.
so much needed.
Yes.
This is so much needed. And to have a relative like you, I can sharpen my skills with, who I can come about my endeavors,
Mhm,
and my goals, and get advice and encouragement and support is priceless. And in a way, being able to platform is another sharing to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
That same advice that you give me on a
Mm-hmm.
conversation on the phone, but on this platform,
Right. Mm-hmm.
kicking it back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing. We're just kicking it, and that's anybody that comes on the show. That's what we want them to feel. We want them to feel just kick back and share your story.
Right, right. So I'm gonna say thanks for having me,
Oh, no problem. No
and I hope
problem.
I get another invite.
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah,
It's been great having you, on Track Talk Sports.
thanks.
And I mean, there's going to be other times, you know,
Right,
uh, when you can come on, and we'll definitely be glad to have you, anytime.
right. Well, I'll be glad to come.